Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Baolong, a PMC member of Alluxio open source community. Now I work for Tencent currently. I currently develop Apache Ozone, which is the next generation distributed object store. Do you know Ozone?
Well, I think like people are muted, so you will not hear back.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I think Ozone is pretty famous in the Hadoop community, and people know this is a next generation and to as a continuation for HDFS, and has a lot of very like a cutting edge concept and algorithms built in. So I think Ozone, like at least for our audience, I believe Ozone is pretty famous.
Yeah. Okay. Prior to Tencent, I worked for Alibaba and JD.com to build a big data distributed storage system by HDFS and Alluxio. Now, let's talk about how to integrate the storage system as a new under-file system of Alluxio. Okay. Okay, through this picture, you can know that we can mount many famous storage systems to Alluxio, and there are many famous applications can access Alluxio without any code changes. In fact, Alluxio is a virtual distributed file system. Now we can mount HDFS, S3, OSS, COS, and Ozone together to Alluxio. In a sense, Alluxio is a global mountable, maintain a global centralized mountable, and supply a global name system. We can mount lots of under storage into Alluxio. The end user don't aware where the access operation mapping to, which storage system is being accessed. Even we remount a mount point from one storage to another storage. Client and end user need to do nothing. As Alluxio getting more and more popular, as Ozone wasn't the UFS of Alluxio yet, so I did some minor effort to make it possible to access Ozone through Alluxio. Yeah. UFS here means under file system. So let me introduce the Apache hadoop-ozone shortly. In a word, it aimed to become the next generation distributed storage, an approach of data lake. Many applications can access Ozone through via API, leverage Hadoop compatible file system interface. Alluxio can be used for big data ecosystem, leverage CSI S3. Ozone can serve as cloud storage and leverage Alluxio. Many applications can access Ozone easily. Meanwhile, Alluxio can supply a tiered cache service, which can speed up the access performance. So, how to mount an under-file system to Alluxio? Just a simple command line, like this. The /ozone is a mount point in Alluxio name system, and the following parameter, O3FS : // This is a mount point. This is a ozone path. As Alluxio access Ozone by Ozone file system, which is a implementation of HCFS. HCFS here is Hadoop compatible file system. So we should specify the necessary configuration. This is the configuration, how to specify configuration. And some configuration item in this file and this file.
So actually, I have a question, Baolong, here. So for Ozone,
yeah.
because I'm pretty new to Ozone, I know HDFS is fairly well. For Ozone, can you access Ozone as HDFS comma // just like the old way to address a file in HDFS, or you have to use the new scheme like O3FS comma //
It is not supported yet, because Ozone is not the UFS of Alluxio yet. Now
sorry, I'm talking about like forget about Alluxio, just like for a user to use Ozone, do they have to use O3FS comma // or they can also use HDFS comma //?
Yeah, it's the same.
I guess my question is, do they have to use HDFS comma // do they have to use O3FS comma // or they can also use HDF, the same address? Is it same? Is it compatible with HDF? Is Ozone addressing compatible with HDFS, or it's a separate way to put your files?
Yeah, I think I know what your question. Your question is O3FS : it's Hadoop HCFS path. It's the same. We mount it here. Use the HCFS path pattern. Yeah.
Okay.
For example, if you use HDFS bash command line, you can use HDFS FS ls and following the O3FS : you can listing the file list from O3FS.
Okay, I see. So to summarize, basically you're saying O3FS, the prefix or the scheme is compatible, is a Hadoop compatible file system scheme.
Yeah.
However, you have to specify this, like you have to specify this separately. You cannot use HDFS comma // right? Like from HDFS 2 to HDFS 3, you can still use the same way as an address, but from HDFS to Ozone, you have to use a separate way. You have to use O3FS. Okay, I understand. Cool, thanks.
Yeah, and one more thing I must explain is Ozone has another schema. It's OFS. Yeah, other than O3FS. But I don't use OFS here because O3FS is in the 0.5 point, but the OFS is in 0.6 point release, but the 0.6 point release one is not coming. Yeah. So let me go ahead. In this slide, there are many under-file systems in Alluxio now. And so how Alluxio discover the supported under-file system? First, attention jars are loaded dynamically at runtime by Alluxio servers, which enable Alluxio to talk to a new under-file system without requiring a restart. Secondly, Alluxio servers use Java Service Loader to discover implementations of the under storage API. Providers include implementations of the under file system factory interface. And finally, the implementers need to create a file under file system factory. Yeah, it is a file to point specific under file system factory. One more thing is implementers are required to include transitive dependencies in their intention jars. We usually call it fat jar, yeah, because it is too fat. Alluxio performs isolated class loading for each intention jars to avoid dependency conflicts between Alluxio servers and the intentions. Each jar of under file system module will appear in the lib directory after build. Then service loader will discover the under file system from these jars. The left picture here is the submodule of UFS under file MFS. The right picture shows the generated jars in the under file system from the modules by Maven package. Here is the Ozone. It's a new submodule of under FS.
Yeah, I want to give actually a little bit more history about the structure and the code base here. So originally, all these different under FS jars are included in the final assembly jar. That's like a long time ago, but it's before 2.0. And the reason is it's very simple, like you just compile everything into one single module. But later on, we realize you have to, like we realize sometimes we want to mount HDFS of different versions from, for example, from different vendors. Like this is a MapRFS, this is like a standard Hadoop HDFS, or sometimes we want to mount different versions of HDFS into the same Alluxio logical namespace. But the problem is these clients, like talking to MapR or talking to different versions of HDFS, they often have conflict with each other. And we spend a lot of time, actually, I spend a lot of time try to resolve these conflicts. And turns out there's no perfect way to do this. So in the end, we decided, okay, let's just keep each single individual module talking to one HDFS or one UFS, a separate jar. And then we can class load this jar into Alluxio on the servers when we're talking to these different servers. So in this way, we're able to isolate, like totally isolate the conflict between different jars and make the code structure much simpler. This is really, it turns out it's really helpful for us to keep this modular and keep this simple. And like, for example, in this way, when Baolong is creating a new NRFS jar for Ozone, he does not need to take care of like avoiding conflict with existing Hadoop jars or very old Hadoop jars. So yeah, so basically that's the history of like why we keep this structure like this.
Yeah.
But please continue.
Yeah, it's cool. I think maybe someday we should support several versions of Ozone. Yeah, Ozone now have it has an incubator project. When it is grow up, we will support most several release version here. Yeah. Let me go ahead. How to implement an UFS? First, you should implement the under file system interface. Yeah, like this interface. Choose a better appropriate parent class. It's too intense. Can reduce lots of your effort. It is not very difficult. There are only few of methods you have to implement, like the right picture. analysis method. And you should create a text file in specific path and fill your under file system factory class name here. Here is my Ozone under file system factory. To get a fact package from Maven package, you also need to add the two useful Maven plugins to your module to build a individual jar with dependencies. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to chime in here again. Sorry. So these two jars are. I just add a little bit more details here. First, you have to put two Maven jars here. The first jar is to make your it's to create a jar with all the dependency, with a full list of dependency. So this jar is called Maven Shade plugin. And the second jar is used to when you compiling this jar, this will copy the final created jar into a directory, the lib directory Baolong just showed, right? The reason you can put it here in this way without specifying anything is we already specified like the configuration in the parent POM XML. So you just need to in this way to explicitly tell Maven to trigger these two jars. That's it. So it's very minimal.
Yeah, you can use this two plugin here easily. Yeah, this is reference to the parents plugin. The specific configuration in the parents POM parent module. Yeah. Now Ozone can be an under-file system of Alluxio after my pull request, so that we can mount Ozone to Alluxio. The Alluxio client can access Ozone through Alluxio master and worker. The most important motivation to do this work is that Alluxio can keep the file system semantic metadata for Ozone. The most important, this is the most motivation. It can speed up the file system semantic operation like list status. The list status is expensive for object store, for all of object store, I think. But for file system, it is easy and fast. Also, Alluxio can catch the data for Ozone. So I think Alluxio can speed up Ozone for big data workloads. This is the Ozone under file system supporting related change list. Yeah. The most important one is Ozone under file system factory. Yeah, it is a minor changes here. It intends HDFS under file system factory. Yeah, like this, so that I can reduce writing lots of code. The key point is I use Ozone file system to access Ozone, and the Ozone file system is a implementation of Hadoop compatible file system interface. Lots of work is done by HDFS under file system factory. Even I don't need to write an Ozone under file system at all. Yeah, because HDFS under file system is enough for me for Ozone. The screenshot below is the file which service loader request. Yeah, I just pointed it just now. The content is Ozone under file system factory class name. Alluxio discover the Ozone UFS by that. The link here is the PR about making Ozone as UFS of Alluxio. If you want to know more about how Alluxio can access Ozone, you can get all affected files by this PR. As not everybody is familiar with HCFS, let me introduce it shortly. Yeah, it is an API of file system. Its original purpose is for HDFS only, but HDFS getting more and more popular in past 10 years. Many storage systems implement the HCFS interface so that the application of Hadoop ecosystem can access this storage system without code changes. The HCFS framework can fund the related file system implementation through the schema. Yeah, the technology is the service loader. Yeah, it's the same. Actually, HCFS become a standard API of Hadoop ecosystem. You know, for example, the file system of HDFS is a distributed file system. The file system of O3FS is basic Ozone file system. Yeah, the two example, one for HDFS, another is O3FS. Yeah, it's a HCFS pattern path. The Alluxio master web UI shows that we mount an Ozone under file system. We can list the children of Ozone directory. Yeah, this Ozone directory is a mount point. It's not a real directory. Yeah, and the A and B and DR is a children of Ozone. Yeah, and I open the file B here. The content is from Ozone. Yeah, it can prove in this two picture, Alluxio can listing and get the content from Ozone by Alluxio. This is a Alluxio command line tools. It listing the Ozone directory and it cat the file B. The content is here. It's the same way. This is a reference. They are all from documents of Alluxio. So I think Alluxio document is very perfect. Let me see this document. It's also written by me. Yeah, in the Edge version, we can see this. Most important one I must show it for us is the two configuration files. One is this. Yeah, we use basic Ozone file system. Another one is the following configuration items. You must put all of them to this file because in the recently Ozone release one have a bug about the default configuration value. If you don't give this config item, you will get 0 value from this case. Yeah, it's dangerous, and it can and make you don't use Alluxio. You make your Alluxio cannot access Ozone easily. So it is very important. Let me go back this. Okay, these are several ways to join Alluxio community. If you want to join Alluxio community, you can join us through these ways. If you want to join Ozone community, you can also mail to me. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Bin, and that's all.
Cool. Yeah. So I think like that's the presentation part. In case we have any question, I and Baolong will be here for a few more minutes, couple minutes to answer your question. And feel free to drop me the message in the chat box or go to Slack channel to write your question there. Okay. Before like people are asking questions like oh, actually there are a few questions already. Sorry. I'm still very new to this platform, so.
Is there some question?
First of all, it says like the invite limit is reached, so there is maybe a limitation in how many people we can invite to Slack at the current stage. Yeah, I already told my colleague, and she will talk to Slack and see how we can resolve this. Okay, I think it's not really a question, but people. Oh, so people is asking, is O3? This is from Luke Lee. Is O3FS the protocol just like S3A or HTTP? I think it's the new protocol. It's not a protocol compatible with HDFS, but Baolong, you can maybe correct me.
I think O3FS protocol is the HCFS implementation. Yeah, it's not a S3 protocol, not a HTTP protocol. It's a HCFS protocol. Use this protocol like Alluxio as the client of O3FS. Alluxio master and Alluxio worker must access Ozone's master is OM, or Ozone manager, and Alluxio's data service is Ozone HDDS service, data node service. Yeah, so the answer is O3FS is the HDFS protocol. Yeah.
Oh, it's HDFS protocol. Like
it's
even in the go ahead.
It's HCFS protocol, Hadoop Complete File System protocol implementations.
But I think it's okay. Maybe it's confusing when different people may have different opinions. Like what is a protocol? My own opinion is it's HDFS compatible interface. It implements Hadoop HDFS compatible file system interface.
Yeah.
But the protocol itself is not HDFS protocol. Like for example, the RPCs and the headers and all this response. Yeah. It's a totally different. It's designed as a object store. So it's the same interface as HDFS, but underlying it's implementing a totally different set of protocol and RPCs and like
I
server side.
So it is the RPC protocol. Yeah.
So it's actually same as Alluxio. We have a HDFS compatible interface implementing Hadoop file system as a base class, the abstract file system. But like underlying, we're using Alluxio RPCs, not HDFS RPCs. So that's a very different.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hands. But like right now, so Baolong, after integrating Alluxio with Ozone, do you have anything like, for example, in mind to suggest Alluxio, like suggest to us maintainers for Alluxio, what to improve, what to add, what to enhance in terms of having maybe the integration easier or make the more functionalities? What do you think?
Alluxio here, we can use Alluxio to as a mount point, as a front end of Ozone, but we cannot cost many nodes, many resources for Alluxio in the original phase. So I think if Alluxio can supply a single node service for Ozone, it would be better.
Single node? Do you mean you just want one process, like one Java process, acting as both the master and the worker, basically for both metadata and the data? I see.
Yeah. Just like the progress. Lateral fields is a single JVM here. We just start one progress, and we can let my program access Alluxio easily. Here we want Alluxio to be a single one. Alluxio master and Alluxio worker can start together. Yeah. Sorry for the picture. It's both of them are Alluxio worker. It's my fault.
I see. Yeah. I see. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. In that case, basically, you think like it's to work with Ozone. In your case, you don't really need a full distributed system. You just need the functionality of mounting and the functionality of translating and caching. That's all you need, right?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. In the this is a original the startup phase. Yeah. But for if we use Alluxio long time, we can believe Alluxio is a part of our component. We can put Alluxio to our stack, so we can cost a lot of our resource to Alluxio. That time, that phase, we can use lots of Alluxio nodes. We can start up several Alluxio worker for Alluxio. Yeah.
I see. Okay. To translate, basically, you're try to recap. Basically, you're saying if we have an easy way to onboard first, and then after that you realize, okay, I really need a distributed system, and we can just simply expand. Instead of having one single master, single worker, you can just expand to. Okay, I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I think like that's all we have today. Like in case you still have any questions, feel free to go to our Slack. We will fix the Slack. Sorry about that. The Slack is not working at the current moment. That's thank you again. Like Baolong, it's already close to 2 a.m. in China. Thank you so much for having you today with us.
Yeah,
really appreciate
it. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. The video will be playback will be available to playback online very soon, so you can always go back and check. But feel free to reach out to me on Baolong either. Thank you so much, and have a nice day today.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you.